everybody, and welcome to the library. Actually, it's just my vlog. I'm just talking over top of my run-through of the library, at least the first part of it, because, well, it's actually quite hard to play and talk at the same time. So I've decided to switch things up. I'm just going to do a vlog type thing, and instead of doing it with my face, because, well, I don't like my face, I'm going to do it over top of a run-through of, well, an adventure map kind of thing. And here are all the people that actually made it. I figured I'd throw that in there to give them all credit where credit was due, because this is really, really impressive what they did with this. I'm quite amazed. But the main reason that I'm doing this is to announce a few changes to my YouTube channel. One, the most obvious change, I now have advertisements on my channel. Why do I have advertisements? Am I in it for the money? Yes. Yes, I am. I like doing this. This is fun. The videos, the YouTube, it's so entertaining, so much fun. I would love to be able to do this for a living. And if I can get channels or advertisements going and I can get money and stuff like that, I can do it for a living. And the more I continue to do this for the living, the more relaxed I am, and the better my videos will be. And, you know, all that fun jazz. I can at least get practice and be better at it in general. Now, if you haven't noticed the advertisements, that's probably because you're using Adblock Plus. Now, am I going to be mad at you? Am I going to give a sob story about, oh, you're taking money from me? No, not at all. I perfectly understand if you're using Adblock Plus. Between cable, radio, and late 90s internet, advertisements have been abused so much that the vast majority of people have created like a phobia for advertisements. And I can't blame people for trying to work around them. I do. I use Adblock Plus all the time. But I will tell you this. If you do use Adblock Plus, you are missing out, man. The YouTube advertisements are hilarious. And not for the advertisements themselves, but what's behind them, what it means behind them. YouTube advertisements are supposed to be run through Google's Adsense, and as everybody should know, Google's Adsense is based on what you have previously watched, what you previously searched for, and the content of the page it's on. So in theory, if you're on a website about computers and technology, your advertisement should be computers and technology. Well, my subscriptions are like a whole bunch of Let's Players, the engineering guy, Ashen's, which basically he buys from, what did he call it, Poundland, which is the British version of the dollar store, if you don't know what that is. And he just makes fun of the stuff. Nowhere in there would it even suggest that I give two craps about politics. So I wonder how much Obama paid to spam advertisements at me about how bad Romney is. Now, I don't have a freaking clue who Romney is. I guess he's the guy who Obama's running against. I don't know. I don't know anything about the politics. I tend to steer clear of that. But out of the 5 different advertisements I could see from Obama, they were all about how Romney is outsourcing jobs to China. Okay. I understand where Obama's coming from with that. Outsourcing jobs from America to somewhere else is a bad thing. And I put air quotes around that because that's questionable. It's actually a good chance that it's a bad thing for the company that's doing it, not necessarily for the economy. But I digress. That's an argument that I would not be able to get into because I don't know enough about it to actually get into it properly. well, I don't know enough about it to actually argue it. Let's just leave it at that. I'm ignorant on the whole entire thing. But one thing I'm not ignorant on is advertisements in general. How bad does Obama seem when the only bad thing they can think up about Romney is he's outsourcing jobs to China? The only thing they can come up with is he's outsourcing jobs to China. I mean, I understand that in politics, the advertisements haven't said anything nice about the person they're about, only bad things about the other guy. But how bad is it when you can't even find a decent string of things wrong with the other guy? Holy crap. I mean, that's just hilarious right there. And there are quite a few other really, really good ones. Like the Jack Daniels commercial. I know I subscribe to the Malt Minute. And yes, that's about beer, but that's it. I don't do Google searches for beer. I don't talk about alcohol in general. I don't like alcohol in general. I don't. I find it fascinating how it's made, but I don't drink it. It just tastes really, really bad to me. But that's just me. So what makes them think that I would be a good target for Jack Daniels commercials? I don't know. And then the last one that was really, really good was for, I think it was a French company. They were selling carbonated water. God, if you haven't seen it, you need to see it. I have no idea how to find it again, because I don't know what it was about. I could never figure that out. I thought it was about beer initially. It took somebody explaining to me that it was carbonated water. So I wouldn't be able to find it to show it off. But it's freaking hilarious. I'll see if I can track it down. I'll try to track it down, and if I can, I'll put it in the description. I'll put a link to it in the description, because it is goofy as all get out. It's hilariously goofy. Actually, it actually kind of works. It makes me want to buy it just to see if it's worth the goofy commercial. So yeah, if you're using AdBlock Plus, I actually recommend turning it off just for the sheer humor factor. It's quite good. The second change in my channel is I'm switching from the standard Let's Plays to a more, how do I say it? I don't want to say creative, because to do Let's Plays properly, you have to be really creative. But I want to switch to something a little bit more my speed. I guess my speed would qualify as a little slower. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to record the video first, cut it up the way I need it, and then record the voice over it. For example, like my tutorials that I've been doing. I started doing those because, you know, in 1.3, the villagers, you're able to trade with them now. And that's cool and all, but there seems to be a lot of confusion over what's involved in getting them to breed. Like how big the house is, what they could be made out of, how far apart they are. So I started the tutorial series for that, to explain somewhat how villagers breed and stuff like that. And it's fun. I love it. I love teaching why. And I hope that other people like it too, because once you learn why, you can learn how to do things for yourself. Like if you just go to a standard how-to channel or how-to video, they're just teaching you how to do things block by block. And while that's extremely useful, and I use them all the time, it doesn't really teach you anything. You can only do that one thing. But if you understand what's going on behind it, you can take that knowledge and expand on it almost infinitely. So if you learn what kind of buildings you can make, how big, out of what, and how far apart, you can make your own villages. You don't have to make something that looks like somebody else's. You can make something yourself. And I'm sure that's what a lot of people want to do. So that's what I started doing. And then it just kind of expanded a little bit, doing the mini myth kind of things. Don't want to call them myth busting because I'd probably get sued by Discovery Channel. Don't sue me. I love you guys. Well, I love Mythbusters. I'm kind of sick of the rest of Discovery Channel. But, and I lost my train of thought. I hate it when that happens. You're like in the middle of a thought and it just jumps the rails. Kind of sucks. Let me think. I was talking about this. Don't sue me, Discovery Channel. What the hell was before that? Now I forget. God damn it. I think that might be like a sign of ADD or something like that. I don't know. Or at least some form of ADD. I have a tendency to stick on the same track and not be able to go off like I need to. Go off on a different topic. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, the mini-myths. There are other things that people get confused about. Like, for example, the far lands. There's a lot of debate, surprising amount of debate, on whether the far lands actually exist in 1.8 beta and beyond. So I did that video real quick. It was like, what, 5 minutes long, something like that. And I showed that the far lands do exist, but not in the way that they were in 1.7.5.2 beta, where it gets all kinds of screwy. It looks like the land generation is the same, but the lighting doesn't work. You can't walk on the blocks. You can't place the blocks. And it's also 30 million blocks out instead of the previous 15 million, I think that was. So I like doing that kind of stuff. I like helping people get over questions and help people find answers. That's fun for me. I love doing that. It's actually why I worked in tech support for so long. And then I realized that a lot of people aren't very appreciative of tech support workers, and I really started to hate that job, and I'm quite glad I'm not there anymore. But I digress. So yeah, so that's the types of videos that I'm working on now. I might do a few more of the music videos that I made. It's going to be kind of hard to do that stuff because with the advertisement things, I have to worry about what's in them. For example, I have to always make sure my music is properly licensed. Like I use the Incompetech music. You can see the links in my previous videos. The guy that makes those is good. Insanely good. There's another one, Mechanima Sound. I'll probably be smart and actually put these links in the description. But they're really good. I found them out thanks to Guude's playthrough of Psychonauts. And the intro music he uses for that game, I now have it on my, what is that called? Google Music. So that I can listen to that whenever. That's just how good that is. So I'm quite impressed with how good people are, and they're perfectly willing to give away the music as long as you give them credit. And I think that's amazing. That's great. And then there's my other music, the two music videos that I did, Keller Me and, oh no, I forget what the other one was called. Beginning Anew. They were from a coworker of mine, a previous coworker of mine named Justin. And he basically said that he wasn't using them for anything. So he let me use them for whatever I wanted. So I do have the rights to use that too. And I'll be using Minecraft a lot because it states in their terms of use that you can put advertisements on your videos of Minecraft as long as you follow a few simple guidelines. And they're relatively simple guidelines to make sure that the viewers know that you're not affiliated with Mojang. And I'm not. As much as I would like to be, I'm not. I'm actually not affiliated with anybody. I'm some, guy. Just some random guy. Don't know anybody. It's not what you know, it's who you know, and I know nothing. And I know nobody, so... So, yeah, definitely fun. And I want to finish this Let's Play of the first part of the library. So I have quite a few more minutes to fill up. So I'll start talking about random things, just to fill up the time. Like the news. They've discovered the Higgs boson, or whatever the hell it's called, that God particle that the reporters are always talking about. I don't know what that means. I don't know if it has any use. I hope it does. That would be cool. All of a sudden, new Higgs boson technology starts flooding the market. You know, teleporters and replicators and cool shit like that. That would be awesome. How pissed off would the RIAA and MPAA be about that? Ooh, we got replicators now. The only people that would be making money would be the fucking electric companies. Oh, I love that idea. It's like Star Trek. I love Star Trek. On slightly older news, Apple has managed to get an injunction against the Nexus Galaxy phone. Now, I'm pissed about this. I'm uberly pissed about this for a couple reasons. One, I wanted that phone. I wanted the Nexus Galaxy. But now I'm thinking about getting the Nexus 7, which I know is a tablet, but it's the Nexus 7. Come on. That is a great name. I'm sure that's what Google was going for when they started with the Nexus 1, which, by the way, I also have. It's actually the Nexus 1 is the reason I got rid of my iPod Touch. Yes, I had an iPod Touch. I had Apple devices. I do know what I'm saying when I say I don't ever want to go back to Apple. It's not like I'm just one of those random Apple bashers who says, oh, I'll never use Apple, blah, 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 they're evil sons of bitches. I'm like, no, I've used Apple. I know Apple, and I know their technology is quite impressive. Their business practices are kind of pissing me off. I'm sorry. They're pissed because the Nexus Galaxy looked like the iPhone, so they're claiming that Samsung ripped off the look of the iPhone. I'm not seeing it. You can Google search Nexus Galaxy versus iPhone, and you can see the pictures side by side. There's a whole bunch of them. Apparently this is a huge hot debate. They look nothing alike. They're clearly two different phones. There's no possibility of confusion. Now, as the argument has come up before, an old Samsung phone, N700 or something like that. Now, that looks a hell of a lot like the iPhone. But the trick is, the N700 was announced before the iPhone. Was announced and released before the iPhone. Now, it's been agreed that, yes, they look the same, but Apple did not rip off the look of the Samsung. They just independently developed it. Well, if Apple's allowed to independently develop things, why the hell isn't Samsung? Especially when they independently develop things that don't look like what you're saying they look like. I don't know. I guess I'm not the moron that people are looking for when they say moron in a hurry. Of course, that's trademark law. That's not really copyright. Or is that patents? I don't know. I can't tell anymore. They're all kinds of bullshit. What else interesting happened? I could tell you something interesting that happened to me today. Okay, I'm sitting here. Just woke up. I go to bed late, so I wake up late. I woke up at like... Oh, wait. I got up early today. I got up at 10. Yeah, I got up early. I got up at 10. So I'm trying to wake up. I'm supposed to get a phone call from my dad to go do a job for him. So I was trying to wake up early, and I was watching a few videos on YouTube, and then I hear these people yelling outside. Now, that's not terribly unheard of. I live like a half a block away from a park, so I just kind of ignored it. But they kept yelling and kept yelling, so I went and looked, and I could see that they were a couple of plumbers. first thing I saw, I looked out front. There was a couple of guys in my driveway, and I could see a big, giant tanker truck kind of thing. And I'm like, oh, well, they must just be, they must just be working on something. I don't know. And then I looked out back, and I saw that they had the sewer open. That's at the bottom of my backyard. Actually, I think it's my neighbor's yard. I don't really know where the property line is. But they had the sewer open. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, so they're just sewer workers. They're not really a problem. A little while later, I hear this noise coming from my basement. It sounds like water is just gushing up through the floor or something. I'm like, fuck. Because I had problems with flooding in my basement before. I'm like, crap, what are these people doing? I go downstairs and, oh my god, it reeked. It smelled of methane. Bad. So I go outside. I'm like, okay, I gotta ask what you guys are doing. The guy's standing in my driveway holding his giant freaking hose. He's like, oh, your neighbors had a problem with roots in their pipes. And I'm like, oh, okay, you're just working on the neighbors thing, so I'm just getting gas backwash. Actually, that's probably a really, really bad thing, thinking about it. Ooh, I'm gonna have to look into that. Because the pipe between my house and the sewer is supposed to be full of water all of the time. There are two sets of elbow pipes at either end to make sure that the center pipe is constantly full of water. That way you don't have backwash from the sewer. So if I was getting gas coming up from the sewer, I gotta look into that. I guess I'll go do some laundry. Even though I did laundry yesterday, I don't really have any. Go throw something in the washer, get some water flowing through that pipe, see if I get anything coming back up. That's going to be a fun one. Let's see, what else can I talk about? Ooh, I upgraded my internet connection. I should probably go over this. I upgraded my internet connection. Verizon started advertising this thing called Quantum Internet. 300 megabits per second down, 65 megabits per second up. Now, I've looked at hundreds of different types of internet connections from like a whole fuckload of different companies. And 300 down is faster than most business internet connections that I've seen. Holy crap. I mean, 65 up is insanely fast. I'm like, ooh, I want it. If it's anywhere near reasonably priced, I am totally going to get it. And by reasonably priced, I actually mean somewhere around 230, 240. No. 120, 130. That's my dyslexia kicking in. I swear to God, that's dyslexia. I'm mixing up numbers. I always do that. But if it was like 120, 130, hell, even 150, oh yeah, I'd be paying for it. I'm researching it on the internet and find out that the advertised price is $204, which is an odd number, but okay. $204 is still more than I'm willing to pay for that kind of internet connection. It's a good internet connection, and it's probably the fastest in the United States. And compared to the rest of just the United States, that's damn good. Compared to other companies like Japan and Korea, and, you know, Google in, where is that, Kansas? Tennessee, maybe? I don't remember. That sucks. That sucks bad. I mean, Google's offering gigabit internet connections. Symmetrical gigabit internet connections for like $35 a month. I want that. I want that bad. But I don't have that option because they decided to do it in Kansas. Which I can't blame them. I mean, Pittsburgh is just one of however many millions of cities in the United States. So, that was their choice. I don't hold a grudge against them. That's fine. But, so I call up Verizon. And I'm like, okay, what can you offer me? because 204 is more than I'm going to pay. But I had also researched that they had 150 down and 65 up for like $100. Now that I would pay for. I would totally pay for that. They don't offer it in my area, which is odd because while I'm broke, I still live in a ritzy part of town. You would really expect that they would roll out to the people that would actually pay the exorbitant prices. But hey, that's their choice. I say let them roll it out here as soon as freaking possible, though. Because I definitely know one person who's going for it. And if I can ever actually make more money, I'm going for it. $200, I'll pay $200 if I have the money. But what they could offer me was 75 down and 35 up. Now that's a hell of an upgrade from what I was using. I had 15 down and 5 up. So yeah, now I have a whole crap ton of internet that I can play with. So I will probably be starting to upload my videos at 1080p. Now, that's great for people like me, who have the internet connection to support it. But most people aren't going to have that internet connection. And for some reason, YouTube doesn't buffer the whole way. It will buffer like part of the way and then stop. And then you hit play, and it'll play the entire part it buffered, but it can't buffer fast enough for you to keep playing it seamlessly. So here's a tip. At the bottom of your window, if you don't know this, at the bottom of the video window, there is a gear. If you click on that, you'll have a whole bunch of different resolutions to choose from. Now, with my 15 down, 5 up, I found that 480 was a perfect resolution. It wasn't crystal clear, but you know, it played the entire way through without having to sit and buffer for a long period of time. But anything higher, the 720 option, always gave me crap. So yeah, I guess that brings up the question, why in the crap would I upload at 1080p? I mean, there's kind of no use for it. Somebody might have an internet connection that works fast enough for it. I mean, 15 megabits per second down should be fast enough to do compressed HD video. But I don't think YouTube allows a connection fast enough for lower viewed videos than that. So it's kind of a problem. It was a problem for me anyways. But if you can get it, I'll leave it there as an option. If not, there's that gear at the bottom of the window. You can change the resolution manually. Or in your YouTube settings, you can actually go in and tell it you have a lower speed internet connection and it will default to a lower resolution. It's like 720. Okay, now, to the video, I'm going to have to explain this part. When I read that sign right there, I didn't think it said break blue wool. I thought it said place the blue wool at the top of the ladder. So that's the confusion here. I thought the blue was just going to be unique and the other ones would be on the shelves. That's what happens when you just read blazing fast. You don't get the information. I have no idea where the redstone torch came from. But yeah, this is the end of the library, at least the part 1 part. I think that was history. I like this map. I do. It's quite impressive. I actually got into this due to, let's see, who was it? Guude, Baj, and Pause playing Dropper on their Let's Play channel. So yeah, that was interesting. There's quite a few good builds in here. So I'll cut it off here, and I don't know. I might pick up with part 2 and another vlog. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'll see you guys in the next video.